Is this the end of a journey that has long been an inseparable part of the lives of millions of fans around the world? Is it true that one of the most beloved members, Kim Taehyung, also known as V, is on the verge of making a decision that could change everything? And why did Jungkook, the golden magne who is known for rarely showing his emotions in public, shed tears when this news broke? These questions now haunt the minds of armies around the globe, flooding social media with speculation, theories, and an anxiety that grows increasingly uncontrollable with each passing day. This news first surfaced through an internal source who refused to be named. They stated that there is a high possibility Taehyung will take a shocking step regarding his future in BTS. Although there has been no official confirmation from hybe, suspicious signs have begun to appear in recent weeks. From changes in activity schedules, restrictions on public communication, to Taehyung's absence from several important moments that he would normally attend with the other members. All of this has triggered major speculation that something unusual is happening behind the scenes. What makes the situation even more dramatic is the news that Jungkook, who is usually able to keep his expression calm in any situation, was seen shedding tears in a closed setting. According to eyewitnesses, the moment happened after an internal BTS discussion session that lasted until late at night in their dorm. No one knows for sure what the conversation was about, but Jungkook's expression when leaving the room left a big question mark. His tears did not only reflect sadness, but also a heavy feeling as if he was carrying an enormous burden on his shoulders. Some fans who closely follow BTS's activities have begun to connect these puzzle pieces. Some recalled that a few months ago, Taehyung made a vague statement in an interview, saying that he wanted to pursue his personal happiness and find a new direction in life. While at the time many thought it was just a casual remark, now that statement feels like an early clue that is starting to find its relevance. Moreover, during the mandatory military service he is currently undergoing, much time is spent reflecting and thinking about the future. The situation becomes even more complicated because Taehyung's relationship with hybe management is said to be at a fairly tense point. A close source revealed differences of opinion regarding the creative direction BTS will take after all members complete their military service. Taehyung, known for his unique artistic vision, is reportedly feeling that his freedom to express music and art is becoming increasingly limited. If this is true, it is not impossible that he is considering an option that ARMY has never imagined before, leaving BTS to pursue his own path. But is such a decision really being considered? Or is all of this just exaggerated speculation? On one hand, hybe's management still chooses to remain silent. They only issued a brief statement that BTS will remain together and asked the public not to believe rumors without a clear source. But strangely, instead of calming the situation, this statement only further fueled public curiosity and suspicion. What's equally shocking is that armies have begun noticing the most recent interactions between Jungkook and Taehyung, which seem more emotional than usual. In a video recording uploaded by a fanbase, Jungkook can be seen looking at Taehyung with an expression that is hard to explain while they were at an internal event. His smile seemed heavy, as if there were words he wanted to say but held back. Some fans even caught a small moment when Jungkook patted Taehyung's shoulder slightly longer than usual, as if sending a silent message. International media have also begun to monitor this development. Several well-known K-pop news portals such as Koreaboo, Symphi, and Okpop have published articles on this rumor, although they still emphasize that there is no strong evidence. However, history has recorded that major issues in the Korean entertainment industry often start from small rumors that were initially underestimated. Moreover, BTS is not just a music group, but a global phenomenon that has a huge influence on the world entertainment industry. So, what exactly made Jungkook cry? Is it true that he couldn't hold back his emotions when talking about BTS's future without Taehyung? Or is there another deeper factor that has never been revealed to the public? Fans who know Jungkook understand that he rarely expresses sadness openly. His tears this time are no trivial matter. They are a symbol that something big is happening behind closed doors. But on the other hand, several K-pop industry analysts are trying to see this from a business perspective. According to them, BTS is at a crucial point in their career. The coming years will determine whether they can maintain their relevance in the midst of increasingly fierce global competition. If a key member like Taehyung decides to leave, the impact will be enormous, both for the group's career and for HYB financially. Not only that, ARMY's loyalty will also be tested in such a situation. However, fans still hold on to one hope, that all of this is just a misunderstanding that will soon be clarified by the members themselves. They believe that the bond BTS has built for more than a decade will not be shaken just because of differences in views or internal issues. But behind that belief, there is a fear that is hard to erase. What if this time, the threat is real? One thing is certain, this drama is far from over. Every day, new pieces of information emerge, adding layers of mystery around it. Armies around the world can now only wait, with hearts pounding, full of hope, but also shrouded in anxiety, what the future of BTS will look like after this storm passes. After the wave of rumors flooding social media, online forums, and international entertainment news portals, it is now time to dig deeper, dissecting fact by fact to reveal whether the news that Taehyung is threatened to leave BTS and made Jungkook cry is true or merely a sensation that has already ignited public emotion. Many thought this drama was the first signal of a breakup, but the data and official statements collected show a story far different from the narrative that is spread widely. First, regarding the allegation that Taehyung is considering leaving BTS. This news comes from an internal source that has never been confirmed and has no authentic evidence. When this issue began to spread, HYB did issue a short statement that sounded diplomatic. However, based on a deeper investigation, the reason why HYB did not deny in detail is not because the rumor is true, but because of the company's policy not to entertain issues without a strong basis. In the Korean entertainment industry, such a method is nothing new. They choose to keep their focus on official activities rather than getting trapped in a whirlwind of rumors that could grow even bigger if discussed too much. Second, the claim that Jungkook shed tears because he talked about BTS's future without Taehyung also turns out to have a different explanation. The video or testimony of Jungkook crying that became the trigger for the rumor actually came from a personal moment when he was talking about how much he missed ARMY during his military service. On that occasion, Jungkook was indeed seen teary-eyed and wiping his eyes, but the context had nothing to do with Taehyung leaving. Some staff members who were present even mentioned that the atmosphere at that time was warm and full of nostalgia, not full of tension or separation as has been sensationalized. Third, the narrative that Taehyung and HYB are currently in a tense relationship also cannot be concretely proven. On the contrary, just weeks before this rumor broke, Taehyung openly praised the HYB management team and staff through the Weverse platform, calling them people who always support his artistic vision. That statement was clearly recorded and can still be seen by the public, making it hard to imagine that behind the scenes there is fierce conflict as popularized by the rumor. Fourth, regarding Taehyung's absence from several events that were cited as an indication of a breakup, the official explanation is much simpler. His absence was purely due to a strict military schedule and limited leave permits, not because of internal conflict or an intention to leave the group. All BTS members currently serving in the military face similar situations, and it is not uncommon for them to have to miss certain events. Fifth, fans' theories about Jungkook's emotional gaze towards Taehyung can also be read from another perspective. Their closeness has long been a public focus, and emotional interactions are nothing new. However, linking every gaze or touch as proof that there is a serious problem is clearly at risk of misleading perceptions. Fans who have long followed BTS's journey know that such interactions are precisely a hallmark of their brotherly bond. With all these clarifications, it is clear that the issue of Taehyung leaving BTS is largely built on assumptions and free interpretations rather than verified facts. The speed at which rumors spread in the era of social media makes a narrative grow in just a matter of hours, especially if the topic involves public figures as big as BTS. ARMY's deep emotional attachment to the members makes them vulnerable to being swayed between worry and hope, making it easy for certain parties to exploit the situation to attract attention or clicks in the media. Another fact is that the relationship between BTS members remains strong despite them currently serving in different military locations and units. They still communicate regularly, support each other, and even talk about big comeback plans after all return from military service. Some of them, including Taehyung and Jungkook, have even hinted at the desire to release a joint music project as a surprise for ARMY in the future. It is important to remember that the Korean entertainment industry, including BTS, has repeatedly been the target of major rumors that turned out to be untrue. From the disbandment issue in early 2018 to the internal conflict in 2020, all were eventually proven baseless. The rumor currently circulating is just the latest chapter of the same pattern, a dramatic narrative shaped by a combination of emotional moments, out-of-context video clips, and wild interpretations by a few people. By end conclusion, the news that Taehyung is threatened to leave BTS and made Jungkook cry has no strong factual basis. All indications used to support this rumor have logical explanations that are consistent and confirmed by credible sources. There is no evidence that the relationship between the members or with management is deteriorating. On the contrary, all signs actually show that BTS remains solid and committed to returning together after their military service ends. For ARMY around the world, the lesson from this situation is clear. It is important to check news sources, question overly dramatic narratives, and wait for official statements before drawing conclusions. BTS has repeatedly shown that their strength lies not only on stage, but also in the bond they share with one another. And to this day, that bond remains intact. There is no sign that this storm of rumors will separate them. On the contrary, this storm only proves that they continue to stand together.